All right, today we're going to talk about something that could really shake things up in the world of AI. It's a new paper called Memento, and it's taking on one of the biggest, most frustrating headaches in the entire field.
Okay, let me ask you this. How crazy would it be if just to learn how to ride a bike, you had to forget everything else? I mean, gone. How to walk, how to talk, how to read. You'd have to start your entire life over. Sounds insane, right? Well, for an AI, that's pretty much the reality they've been living with.
And look, this isn't just some abstract what-if scenario. This is the core problem that our most advanced AI agents are running into day in and day out. These things are unbelievably powerful, but trying to teach them something new, it's just shockingly inefficient.
It's like that brilliant student, the one who has to go back and reread every single textbook they've ever touched just to learn one new fact. That's what we've been forcing our AIs to do. And every single time, we're risking this huge, expensive, and sometimes even destructive process of starting over. It's just not going to work long term.
So, just so we're all on the same page, when I say LLM agent, what are we talking about? Basically, it's an AI that uses a big language model, think something like GPT-4, as its brain. That's the engine that lets it think, plan, and actually do stuff out in the world.
Okay, so if teaching them is so hard, how have we been doing it up until now? Well, the paper basically lays out two main options. And spoiler alert, they're both pretty bad.
All right, so choice number one is what you could call the rigid robot. This is all about hard-coding rules. It works, sure, until it sees something it wasn't programmed for, and then it just breaks. It's super brittle. Then you've got option two, the expensive brain surgery. This is where you retrain the entire model. It's unbelievably costly, takes forever, and you run the risk of something called catastrophic forgetting. And that's exactly what it sounds like. The AI literally forgets old skills to make room for new ones. Not great.
So you're stuck, right? A robot that's too dumb to learn or a genius that's too smart to remember. This is the dilemma. And this is exactly where Memento steps in, with a third option that's, well, it's a whole lot smarter.
And the paper's own summary says it all. It introduces a new way of doing things that, and get this, eliminates the need for fine-tuning the underlying LLMs. Let me say that again. No more brain surgery. That's the whole ballgame right there.
So what's the big idea? It's actually genius in its simplicity. Instead of messing with the AI's brain, Memento fine-tunes its experience. It's not about rewiring how it thinks. It's about helping it learn from what it's already done.
Right, you're probably wondering, how on earth does an AI learn if you're not actually changing it? Well, the secret is all about memory.
Think about a seasoned detective. When a new, tricky case lands on her desk, she doesn't go back to the police academy and start over. No way. She thinks back, right? She dives into this mental case file of every similar situation she's ever faced. Memento basically gives an AI agent that exact same superpower.
And the whole process is this beautiful, simple loop. Okay, so first, the agent gets a new problem. What's the first thing it does? It dives into its memory, its case file, looking for stuff that seems familiar. Then, based on whether those old attempts worked out or, crashed and burned, it makes a decision. After it does its thing, it gets feedback. Was that good or bad? And here's the magic trick. It rewrites its memory. It adds this new experience to the case file, making it a little bit smarter for next time.
Okay, that sounds amazing on paper. But the big question is, does it actually work? Well, according to the researchers, the answer is a big, loud yes. So let's just start with one number, 87.88%. On a super tough test for AI agents called Gaia, that's the score Memento got. And that isn't just a good score. That is the highest score anyone has ever gotten, period. And to really see what that means, check this out. When you put it up against the old way of doing things, that expensive brain surgery method, Memento doesn't just win by a little bit. It's not even close. It's basically setting a whole new standard for what's possible. And this wasn't just a lucky shot. They tested it on all sorts of different complex problems, and it just kept winning. But the really interesting part? Look at that last row. For out-of-distribution tasks, that's a fancy way of saying problems it's never, ever seen before, the improvement is huge. And that tells you something critical. It's not just memorizing things. It's actually learning and applying that knowledge.
So, okay, great scores on tests. But what does this all mean for the future? Well, this isn't just a better technique. It kind of points to a whole new chapter for smart agents.
So why should you care?
Well, for one, it's scalable. Agents can learn without these insane computing costs. It's efficient. We're talking about learning in real time, not over weeks or months. And that opens the door to continuous learning. Imagine an AI that never stops getting better, that can learn new skills forever, adapting with every single interaction. We're moving away from static tools and towards, well, something more like a living, learning partner.
And all of this leaves us with one huge final question. If an AI doesn't have to forget its past to learn about the future, what are the limits anymore? I mean, really think about that. What could an AI do if it could learn from every single success, every single mistake? From helping with scientific breakthroughs to being the perfect personal assistant. Memento doesn't have all the answers, but wow, has it just opened an incredibly exciting door.